Hey everybody, it's Melinda. I haven't seen you guys in a while. I've had a lot going on, and a lot has been taking my time and attention away from connecting with you. So here I am. And so what's been going on? I traveled to England in July, and then I was at Omega and got to speak with John Gabriel in August. That was fantastic. Heading back to Omega in October to see John of God, and that's amazing. And I just wanted to share a thought or two with you as I've been moving through this next stage of my life. So this stage is called the sandwich years, and it's the idea that you're taking care of both generations in front of you and behind you. And so my mother has been ill, and she's getting better. Thank you for your prayers. Appreciate that. And the golfers going by. It's exciting. It's nice to sit out here and just watch them do their thing. But in caring for the people around me, and of course in my practice always, there's this concept of stop beating up second graders for not knowing calculus. And what I mean by that is there someone in your life who you feel extraordinarily angry at or disappointed in because they haven't shown up the way you wanted them to, that they just were, they just didn't show up. And is it possible that they didn't know how? Is it possible that they didn't get trained? Is it possible that the people in our lives maybe were ill-equipped to do the things that we were hoping they would do? Certainly, I have been with a number of people in relationships that I was just so angry, and for no other reason than I was disappointed. That was really what it was, is I was disappointed. My needs weren't getting met, but was the person that I was in front of capable of meeting those needs? And sometimes the answer is no. And I have this concept of beating up second graders for not knowing calculus. It's this really great idea and perspective that helps me let them off the hook. It helps me move out of my anger and my disappointment when I realize that the people around me maybe just didn't have a good go at life themselves. They didn't have the right role models themselves. They didn't have the opportunities that maybe I've even had in self-awareness, in healing and growth. And for whatever reason, they are as they are, and for no other reason than that's just where they're at. And to begin to let them off the hook is not so much about them, it's more about you. It's about getting your joy back. It's about getting your life back. It's about moving on in a way that is, in a way that's more peaceful and connected with how you want to be. I really focus a lot these days, especially these days, helping my mom and sitting back and watching my daughter take her life in her reins and watching her go. And really letting them do this in a way that says this is their life lesson. This is how they are and who they are and how they're supposed to be growing, and it's none of my business. I'm going to be vulgar right now. None of my fucking business how they live their lives. Obviously, the elderly need some assistance. So yes, I'm stepping into my mom's life and offering that assistance. But my daughter gets to make her choices, and our partners get to make their choices, and our siblings get to make their choices, and our co-workers get to make their choices to live their lives exactly the way they want. It's none of our fucking business. We need to back out of everyone else's lives and what they're doing. Obviously, if they're harming people, that's another thing. But I'm just talking day-to-day stuff, opinions and how they are, and I see people, and of course myself too, getting caught up in what didn't happen. I did not grow up in a very loving, safe environment. Like the jury's out. Like we all can agree with that. And even my brothers and I have had conversations now that yes, that was not pleasant. And even my mom can agree that was not pleasant. And it's time to move away from it. It's time to let that story go and rewrite a new one. And one of my most saving graces is to recognize that can't beat up a second grader for not knowing calculus. We can't hold people to standards of knowledge, of wisdom, of behavior that they never learned, or that they were developmentally not able to comprehend within themselves. So today, tomorrow, next week, next month, for the rest of your life, can you begin to look at life, at the people around you, at your relationships in a new lens, in a new perspective? Can you look through that lens of, maybe this isn't about me, maybe this really is more about them? And certainly we have our own things to learn. And I'm not saying not taking responsibility for your behavior. Absolutely take responsibility for yourself, your behavior, your actions, your words, your thoughts. Oh my gosh, your thoughts. And at the same time, recognize the people in our lives are here to teach us. Taking those 2 or 3 quarterback steps backwards and saying, okay, what's the bigger picture here? Was this person really able and capable to show up the way I needed them? What was their life like? Stand in their life for 30 seconds and just look and see. Maybe, just maybe, everyone around us really is doing their very best. I heard this amazing story by Brené Brown and her husband Steve, who I just love how she says Steve. This woman came and Brené observed her being very disrespectful and smearing food on a couch and all of that, and it really lit Brené up. And so Brené was recounting this to Steve, and Brené is just like, oh my God, I just can't believe she did that. It is so disrespectful. And Steve said, well, maybe that was her best. That's probably her best. And Brené is like, I can't believe that. And Steve says, well, I can, because it feels good to believe that. And I love that idea of it feels good to believe that the people in our lives really did do the best that they could with the tools that they had. And maybe they didn't know calculus, and maybe I wanted to do calculus with them and they weren't capable of doing calculus. And that's nobody's fault. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just where they are. So if I want to go talk calculus with people, then I should go to a calculus class and meet people who know calculus, and rather than trying to hold the people around me accountable to standards that they're not able to show up in. And it's such a relief to recognize that I have done that. And my deepest apologies continue to go out to the people that I have been angry at, disappointed in, who didn't speak calculus. And we all know I'm not talking about calculus, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, much love to you. It's just nice to kind of get back and connect with you. I'm just sitting out here enjoying the sun and enjoying the golfers and enjoying my time, and then off to continue being of service to my family and looking at these larger patterns as they're playing out, and recognizing these patterns have been playing out for generations. And my ability to see that now is such a relief to my system of, I can change this, I can change these patterns. And what happened in my childhood, in my life, wasn't so personal, so much bigger than me. And that's awesome. It's awesome to know. So hello to you all. Hello, Anna, who was at Omega with me. So good to see you. Susan Joy, nice to see you. Robin Cole, if you're still on the line, so nice for you tuning in. Veronica, always love to see you. Karen, hi. How's your day out there in the beautiful expanses of Colorado? Bentley White, thanks for tuning in. Much love to you all. It's good to see you. Wishing you peace in your hearts, especially now. We just need to hold peace in our hearts more than ever. And that is my wish for you today. Much love. Talk to you soon.